not allowed into schools or institutions. They grow into cheats, thieves and liars. They live as menace to society. What makes the difference? If the scientific way of bringing up children were to be the reason, if that were to be the only reason, all children who are brought up well should come up well and behave well. But the experience is otherwise. A father of 4 children, excuse me, in countries like India, because here in Europe we find very little number of people who are fathers of 4 children. In India we are many. I am a father of 6 children. Of course I am not ashamed of accepting. And the needs of sex. When these items are kept in proportion, when need is separately understood as different from desire, when we begin to feed only the needs and not the desires, then health improves. Needs belong to the body, desires belong to the mind. Even though the mind desires, it is the body which suffers and not the mind at first. Because if my tongue wants to eat a certain dish, it is only my mind and not the tongue. But when I begin to eat according to my wish or desire, it is my stomach that is eating and not my mind. So first, it is the body that receives the penalty. It is the stomach that gets the pain, and then the mind experiences the pain. Same is the case with everything. When needs are understood as different from desires, when needs are catered properly, without suppressing and without overfeeding, then health begins to improve. The foods we take should be changed. You can say in the Occident we are helpless. The foods we eat contain all sorts of pollutions and chemicals. Unless you permit, nothing can happen either in the Orient or in the Occident. Unless you eat, the commercial fellow is not able to produce anything. Unless you develop a taste of something, the businessman cannot cater it. When you can make an open declaration that we do not want such things, things become possible whether it is in Occident or in Orient. Only your will should open its eye once. When once the eye of your will opens, you can command things, because remember that it is for the common man that everything is intended, and it is not for any technician or a specialist that the creation is intended. When food is being produced, it is for the common man and not the commercial fellow. When medicines are produced, they are intended for the welfare of the common man and not the business success of the pharmacist. When the doctors are making a profession, it is for the common man, not for the doctors. And the same is the case with any other profession. It is the common non-technical man who is important. It is the public that is important, not the few specialists who guide. When the specialists begin to misguide you, you have every right to take a decision for yourself. Make a home in the country and grow your own food materials there. Have your own cattle and have your own milk and milk products. And if you at all can make such a change, I know it is not so very easy, but at the same time you know that it is not an impossibility. When it is required, it will be achieved. Now it is required because the general average of health has gone down to mankind. This is one thing which we have to bear in mind. The other thing is an average practice of yoga by everyone. Even the busiest man, if he practices 3 or 4 asanas a day, it does not take half as much the time as he waits at an interview, or 1/4 of the time as much as he waits for a bus or a tram. So, in our busy daily routine, there are many points where we are waiting for useless things. When we sit at lunch or dinner, we spend 2-3 hours. When we go to a restaurant for lunch, we wait for more than half an hour sometimes talking. Is it a great loss if we spend 15 minutes a day for some practice of yoga? The only thing is the comparative values of things should be remembered. Daily you have some time for your physical yoga and for your mental yoga. And understand and remember the general rules of hygienic living, which every one of us know. These form the preliminary steps to keep health. A mind of meditation cures many diseases. See how the art of healing is being practiced in the modern century. As the evils of overdrugging is being increased, the number of healers is also getting increased. And the methods of healing that are practiced are made systematized and scientific day by day. There are still some primitive people who believe that healing is false. Though I know people who do not believe that diseases can be healed without medicine. I know people who do not believe that diseases cannot be healed without medicine. If a healer heals a patient in a magnetic way or through the process of meditation, there are people who laugh at it. But it is but natural that always there will be primitive human beings. There are people who cannot keep with the race of the advancement. They will laugh at you. Don't be discouraged. But understand that they are not yet ready to receive the advanced science. Just remember that they are still primitive and childish in their evolution. But you see how you heal yourself and heal others when you begin to practice any one of the healing processes. We can use medicine, but medicine need not be prohibited at all. But remember that medicine should be used only very, very sparingly, only to save the life when it is very urgent and there is emergency. Of course, I am not an extremist to believe that medicine should never be used at all, but I never accept the theory of using medicines often. My experience of 25 years proves that medicines are not at all necessary to maintain our health. Medicines are necessary to stimulate the vital force to cure diseases, but medicines can never keep up our health. When once we lose our health and when once we are helpless, then only comes the need of medicine. Then only medicine should be used. And when the need is over, it should be immediately stopped. Health has nothing to do with medicine. It is disease that is related with medicine, not health. So those who eat vitamins for health, those who eat the various food product medicines to keep up their health, they are doing great harm to their constitutions. What happens if I daily take multivitamin tablets? I am denying the privilege of my alimentary canal absorbing vitamins from natural foods. All the organs, parts of the digestive system become lazy fellows and they refuse to work when we use vitamins for more than 10 years continuously. If we stop the medicated vitamins, we will fall down and crumble to death. That is the case when we practice eating vitamins in medicinal form. Vitamins are readily available in food. So too proteins, starches and sugars. Whatever is required by the constitution is being supplied by nature. Make the constitution absorb whatever it wants by practicing moderation in diet and a yogic way of living, supplying what is needed to the body and not at all what is desired by the mind, and practice any one of the methods of healing that is scientific. Scientific means not accepted by medical academies. The word scientific means that it stands to your test. If you put into practice, if something gives you the results required, then it is called scientific in its true sense. And not at all the scientific academies and the papers being read in the academies and accepted. For example, the theory of the microbe and the theory of the virus, which has been widely accepted by the scientific medical academies nowadays, is utterly false and it will be proved within the next 20 years. The theory of contagion has a different basis than what we are believing now. When we know we are inhaling the microbes of many diseases with every breath of ours, if the microbe theory were to be true, what is it that is protecting us from being attacked by all the diseases that are there in the air? We know how much carbon we are inhaling because of the industrial pollutions. We know how much ash we are inhaling. We know how much motor gas we are inhaling. We know how much of the undesirable things we are inhaling. In spite of that, life is so strong and positive in its nature that we are made to live and fight all these that are against our life principle. When many thousands of forces are working against us when we take one breath, what is it that is saving us? What is it that is protecting us? There is another principle which is not understood and accepted by the theories of microbes and virus. So that fact should be remembered. That fact is that life is always progressive and positive. Life can never be defeated by the detrimental things that are around us. The only thing is the disposition and attitude you have to keep. The main aspect of health is only your attitude, and it is your attitude towards your life and the life of others. It is it that saves you and your health, and the other things are only preliminaries. The food we eat and the vitamins we take in, they are only of a secondary value when considered, the primary value being your positive attitude towards yourself and towards others. See if your mind is having bad thoughts about anyone. Why should you bear the burden on your head? See if you can replace the thought by a thought of appreciation about another person. There may be people whom you like and whom you do not like. Why can't you think of people whom you like? Why do you think people whom you do not like? and spoil all your sleep throughout the night. Suppose a person called me fool and went away. I again and again remember that he called me a fool. I think of the same idea. With every one of my friends, I complain that he called me a fool, and I call myself a fool 100 times when he has called me only once. And when I go to bed in the night, he will stand on my chest and say, "You are a fool, you are a fool." All the night I think of him, while the fellow who called me a fool has gone home, had his beautiful dinner, had his Fritz and a glass of beer, and slept so very calmly. That means I am proving what he said was true. He only called me a fool, but I am proving it true by remembering it all through the night, spoiling my sleep. Such an unwise nature disturbs our health. Let us prefer to be happy in our mind. You have many friends whom you can think of in the night. But why should this fellow who called you a fool be a greater friend than any one of them? With respect to your large-heartedness towards that fellow, it becomes a prime factor of your ill health. So in the beginning, begin to think of people whom you like. Gradually, you will begin to know how to think of the other people. People whom we do not like. People who criticize us. People who cheat us. People who speak lies. And people who steal things from us. How to approach them? In what way we are expected to think? This is what is taught by the science of yoga. In our psychological constitution, there are some plug points and some plug pins. Yes, there are some holes and some plug pins which are given to us, which we are expected to make a right connection. If we make wrong connections, the filaments of our intelligence will go away, or the fuse of the house may go away, or sometimes the insulation of the wire may burn away. That is what is happening with all the thoughts we have in a psychosomatic way. Our energy is burning our tissues when we are nervous, when we are restless, when we are hypersensitive, when we are oversensitive. So, the high voltage which is passing through feeble wires makes the insulation burn away very soon. That is what is happening in the case of hypersensitive fellows who believe that there is a great competition in this world, and who believe that people are jealous of themselves, and who believe that people are suspecting them, and who think of these ideas for themselves. It may be true that I feel jealous of you sometimes, but it is a problem with me and not with you. But if you also want to make it a problem of yours, it is welcome, but you will suffer.
Vous êtes le bienvenu, mais vous souffrirez.
So we should know the truth of this. If I feel jealous, it is my hypertension that goes up. If you are to recognize it, it is your hypertension that goes up. And then remember, I am not disappointed. So, the facts behind these discussions should be remembered, and the attitude towards others should be maintained. In yoga, the right connections and right relationship are given. When you meet a person who is greater than your intellectual caliber, link up with your capacity to admire. If you meet a person who is equal to your intellectual status or your achievements, link up with the sense of brotherhood in you. If you meet a person who is lower than your intellectual caliber and your achievements, link up with the plug pin of sympathy in you. This is called the right relationship according to yoga. This is the positive way. And about the negative side also, one thing is given. If you notice that people above your rank are having defects, leave off that aspect and admire them in other aspects. And when people equal to you are having defects, tell them to rectify if you have the courage. Otherwise, don't discuss about it with others, because it proves an evil motive. If you have an attitude to rectify him, you would have told him directly and he would have rectified himself. And if you have no courage to point him out, and still if you comment about it with a third person, that proves not only lack of courage, not only inefficiency, but also of evil or negative motive. So when you find defects in people who are equal to you, either tell them directly to rectify or ignore and you be at a distance. But never think of them subjectively. Never think of the defects subjectively. If you find defects in people who are of a lesser cadre than you, try to help them by encouraging them and giving them what you have and what they do not have. This is the attitude that is to be maintained, and this is what is prescribed by the psychologists of the yoga philosophy. There is one difference between modern psychology and yoga psychology. The modern psychology is capable of analyzing every human problem in a very scientific, beautiful way without any solution at all. If you are not sleeping, modern psychology can tell you why you are not sleeping, but it can never help you how to sleep. Excuse me if I am a bit rough, but if you give a solution according to the present existing modern psychology up to date, I will be your first disciple. And the yoga psychology of the ancients gives as many solutions as there are problems tackled. A science which presents analysis of problems without solutions is useful only for academic values. That is to have a diploma or a PhD. And I do hope that the psychology students of the 21st century in the universities, they will call us fools by studying our psychology books, because they laugh at us, we have no solutions. True psychology is going to take its birth very soon, because the next generation cannot wait for our foolishness. And as far as we can understand and explain, the yoga psychology gives us the attitude of health. And if you remember that health is an attitude, health does not exist in any part of the body, just as disease does not exist in any part of the body. If you are healthy, health exists in you as yourself. If you are unhealthy, sickness exists in you as yourself, as your distorted thought, as your liking for certain undesirable things. This makes us eat and drink wrong things. This makes us sleep wrongly. This makes us use the sex in a distorted way, and then leads the body into pain. And we call the pain as sickness unscientifically. And medicines are poured down to remove the pain in the name of sickness. So, let us recapitulate once again that health is our attitude and it is not any part of our body. It is our attitude that makes our psychology pure. It keeps our mind in equilibrium, and what we call concentration can be achieved only then. People speak of concentrating the mind, and has anyone achieved in concentrating their mind? Do you apply your mind for 1 hour to the same subject without distortion? Poor fellows, even the students of yoga also try to practice concentration. They close their eyes, sit down, and try to put the mind at a point. After 10 years, we may ask our colleague, is he successful? What can he answer? Can he answer, yes, I am successful? No. Can he answer no? No. He can say only, kamsi kamsa.
C'est tout ce qu'il pourrait dire.
What is the fate of concentration? How can we concentrate? We, including the yoga students, the only method to concentrate is not to try to concentrate, but to do something else which makes you concentrate. But above all, one thing is said in the same book, that life is essentially divine in its nature, and each wave of life through centuries is never subjected to the conditioning of the living beings on this earth. Is never subjected to the conditioning of the living beings of this earth. Just as the water that overflows a river can never be conditioned by a river, so also the wave of life through a period of centuries can never be conditioned or measured by the living beings who live in that particular wave. So the scriptures say finally like this: according to the human psychology and the tendencies of the human beings on this earth,